Hello students, in today's session we are going to see exercise number 2.9, so which is based on the properties of definite integrals. So actually in exercise number 2.8, that is from exercise number 2.8, we have started to learn definite integrals. Definite integrals means the integrals will have the lower limit and upper limit. So this type of integral is called definite integrals. So when you see such definite integral, we can use some properties to solve the integral, and that are the following properties. The first property is this: integral a to b f of x dx can be written as integral a to b f of t dt. That is, the integral is same, the lower limit upper limits are same, you can change the variables. This is called change of variable property. So 1 by x, when you integrate, what is the answer? Log x. Like that 1 by t, when you integrate, the answer is log t. So anyway, the answer is resultant, answer is going to be same, but only the variable is different. So that is the first property. And next property is integral a to b f of x dx. Suppose if you have, then when you interchange the limits, that is a to b's place and b to a's place, then you should put a change of sign minus in the front of the integral value, right? So when you change the integral limits, immediately you should put minus before the integral, right? So this particular property we will be using in chapter number 3, especially in exercise number 3.1. And next property is this: integral a to b f of x plus or minus g of x dx is equal to integral a to b f of x dx plus or minus integral a to b g of x dx. That is, you can give the integral a to b to f of x and g of x separately, then you can integrate. This we have already used in the introduction part, but we didn't use it in with limit form. So here we have the limits, that's the only difference. Okay, and next property is property number 4: integral a to b f of x dx equal to integral a to c f of x dx plus integral c to b f of x dx. Okay, so what is this property? How to understand this? It's very simple. Suppose if I ask you to integrate 1 to 5, in between, if you have between 1 to 5 we choose a number 3, then instead of integrating from 1 to 5, you can do like this: 1 to 3, then 3 to 5. So like that. So this property also will be using in 3.1 exercise. This and this, these two properties will be highly useful for us in the next chapter. Okay, so the next three properties are very important, because based on this only we are going to do almost all the sums in exercise number 2.9. Okay, now we are going to see property number 5, and this property is integral a to b f of x dx. If you have, then it will be equal to integral a to b f of the sum of the limits, that is a plus b minus the already x value into dx. So this is property number 5, and very important property, and this property is mostly applicable for trigonometric functions such as sin x, cos x, tan x, like that within your integral. If you have, then for that type you can use this property. So the property is integral a to b f of x dx equal to integral a to b f of the sum of the limits minus x into dx. Okay, so in this thing you will be replacing the x by a plus b minus x. So like that. Okay, okay. The next property is, it is nothing but the derived part of this property. Look at this: the lower limit is 0, the upper limit is a. So in this place 0, here a. If you put 0 a, then here 0 plus a. What is 0 plus a? A. So we get a minus x. So that's what we have. So integral 0 to a f of x dx, if you have, then you can write 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So here also you can use the same method. So both are same, but it is a derived result from fifth property. So this is very important. Okay, and in today's session we are going to do almost all the sums based on only the seventh property. And here integral minus a2 plus a f of x dx, we have, whenever you get such integral with limits like having same number with opposite signs, minus 5 2 plus 5, minus 3 2 plus 3, minus 10 2 plus 10, like that as limits, then you should check the inner function f of x whether it is odd or even. So if it is odd, if f of x is odd, then the integral value is 0. Okay, you needn't have to integrate, the answer is 0. Okay, suppose if the f of x is even, then the lower limit will be made as 0. Can you see 0? Then in the front you will be multiplying 2. So it becomes 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx. Okay, so let's recall this again. So integral minus a to plus a f of x dx. Such type of integral when we see, immediately we have to check the given integrand f of x is odd or even. Okay, if it is odd, the answer is 0. If it is even, make the lower limit 0 and multiply 2 in the front. So you get this 2 into integral 0 to a f of x dx. Okay, so this result is we are following based on the function's nature, odd or even. But how to verify whether the given function is odd or even? So that's very easy. Here we have verification process. So verification of odd or even function. If f of x is the given function, then in that you replace x by minus x. That is, in the x place you are going to apply minus x. So when I apply minus x, if it is again giving the same function as answer, original function as answer, then f of x is an even function. Okay, then suppose in the x place if I put minus x, if I get the answer like minus into the original function f of x, then f of x is odd function. So these are the conditions for even function and odd function. So be clear on it. So what will you do when you get a function? So just apply in the x place minus x. If you get an answer which is equal to the original function, then it is even function. While you replace x as minus x in the function, if you get an answer which is negative of the original function, then it is an odd function. Okay, now we are going to see some examples based on the odd function, how to verify the odd function and even function. So here is the first example. So example for odd function. Suppose the given function f of x is equal to x cube plus x, right? Then what we have to do? First we have to replace x by minus x. That is, in the whole function, wherever you have x, you have to put minus x. So here f of minus x is equal to minus x the whole cube plus of minus x. So plus into minus, minus x the whole cube is minus x cube. In both, do you have minus common? Then take minus outside. So you'll be having x cube plus x. What is this x cube plus x? It is nothing but the given function f of x. So in this place I can use f of x. So the answer is this. Actually we found f of minus x. But this answer f of minus x answer is equal to minus negative of the original function. Then it satisfies the condition for odd function. Therefore the given function is an odd function. Can you understand? Right? Okay. So the next one. Example for even function. So f of x is equal to x power 2 plus x power 4. Right. So here also I want to verify whether this function is odd or even. So I should replace x by minus x. So here also minus x, minus x, minus x. So f of minus x equal to minus x the whole square plus minus x the whole power 4. When you square minus x, you get x square, and when you raise power 4 for minus x, you get x power 4. So this looks like the original function. So directly f of x. There is no negative sign in front. So here you can see f of minus x answer is directly equal to f of x. Then this is the condition for even function. Therefore you can say f of x, the given function, is an even function. So what we understand, when we replace x by minus x in the original function, if you get the same original function as answer, then it is an even function. Suppose while replacing x by minus x in the given function, right, if you get negative of the original function, then it is an odd function. So this is the idea to verify the given function is odd or even. So mostly the polynomial type we can easily verify, but for the trigonometric type we need some node part, and that is here. So you can see, right? So sine of minus x is equal to minus sine x. So usually we learn sine x. In the x place if you replace minus, it will be equal to minus of sine x. Last year we have learned this property. So this 3 you must know very well, right? So what is sine of minus x? Minus sine x. Then cos of minus x is cos x. Tan of minus x is tan x. So be clear on it. What is sine of minus x? Minus sine x. And tan of minus x is minus tan x. And cos of minus x is cos x. So only for cos of minus x we get the same. So for sine of minus x, minus sin x. For tan of minus x, minus tan x. So here which one is an odd function and which one are even? So here only even function is cos, because cos of minus x is again cos, right? Whereas sine and tan are odd functions, so we get negative of the function, right? So and one more thing, we need to learn this thing, this property we have learned in 9th standard, this one, sine 90 degree minus theta cos theta. So the same thing, this property we are going to use it for some problems in this exercise, so we need to recall it. So sine 90 degree minus x is cos x. So like that, the 90 is nothing but pi by 2 in radian form. So sine pi by 2 minus x is cos x. Like that, cos 90 minus x is sin x. So here in radian form, if you write cos pi by 2 minus x is equal to sin x. Like that, for tan also you can write tan pi by 2 minus x cot x, cot pi by 2 minus x tan x, and secant also, secant cosecant also you can write, but we are not using those things here, so I didn't write. So these all and this thing, and how to verify the odd and even function idea you must know very well to do the sums in this exercise. Now we are going to see exercise number 2.9, the first sum, right? So exercise 2.9, the first sum. So they have given integral I equal to minus pi by 4 to plus pi by 4, and the integrand is x cube into cos cube x dx. Okay. So now actually they have given an integrand function. Here you can see, right? So this one, we have to verify whether it is odd or even, because the reason is the integral has the same numbers as limits but with opposite signs. It looks like minus a to plus a. So what do you know about the property? So integral minus a to plus a f of x dx means based on the function f of x only we can choose the answer. So here first you take f of x as x cube and cos cube x. Okay. Now verify whether this given function is odd or even. So replace x by minus x. So f of minus x is equal to minus x the whole cube and cos cube of minus x. So minus x the whole cube is minus x cube. Actually cos of minus x is cos x. So it remains the same. So in this, the minus, if you take it out, for x cube and cos cube x we can put a separate bracket. Now this is nothing but the given function. So when I replace x as minus x in the function, I get the answer as negative of f of x. If I get it like this, therefore the given function is an odd function because it satisfies the condition for odd function. So it is an odd function, right? So if it is an odd function, the integral answer will be 0. So what is the integral? Minus pi by 4 to plus pi by 4 x cube into cos cube x dx. This integral value will be equal to 0. You needn't have to solve it. You can just verify whether the given function is odd or even. If it is confirmed the given function is odd, then the integral value will be equal to 0. So this is the idea. So you can see it. So first we notice the limits are like minus a to plus a. So we take the innermost function as f of x. Then we replace x by minus x. By the time we get an answer, f of minus x this side is equal to the negative of original function. So which is the condition for odd function. Therefore I say the given is an odd function. For odd function the integral value is 0. So the equation equal to 0. Now the next sum we are going to see is example number 2.75. So I equal to integral minus 1 to 1 x power 5 by a square minus x square into dx. Okay, here also we come across the integral limits like minus a to plus a. In that case we have to verify the integrand, this part, as odd or even. So I take this part as f of x. Then to verify whether it is odd or even, we should replace x by minus x. So I am going to replace. So f of minus x equal to minus x the whole power 5 a square minus x the whole square. When you apply this, minus x the whole power 5 will become minus x power 5 by a square. Then minus will be there. Minus x the whole square will become x square. Now in this the minus alone can be kept outside, so that minus of this x power 5 by a square minus x square. What is it actually? It is nothing but the original function. Actually, we found f of minus x, but this, it looks like f of minus x equal to minus, that is negative of the original function. So it is the condition for odd function. Therefore, the given function is an odd function. If it is an odd function, then we needn't have to solve. Directly we can write the answer. The integral answer will be equal to 0. So what is the integral? Integral minus 1 to 1 x power 5 by a square minus x square dx, answer is equal to 0. Now we are going to see sum number 3. I equal to integral minus 1 to 1 log of 2 minus x by 2 plus x into dx. So this is the given integral. Okay. Now here also we notice that the integral has limits looking like minus a2 plus a. So we have to verify this integrand part is odd or even. So I take that and I name it as f of x. Now to verify whether it is odd or even, we should replace x by minus x. So we get f of minus x equal to log of 2 minus, in this place only you are putting minus x. So 2 minus of minus x by 2 plus, for this minus x. Okay. This minus into minus will become plus and plus into minus becomes minus. So log of 2 plus x by 2 minus x. But this one, does it look like log a by b? We have learnt a property. If it is like log of a by b, we can write it as log a minus log b. So by the property, I write this as log of 2 plus x minus log of 2 minus x. Okay. Now I'm going to take one minus whole from the whole term, from this term as well as from this term. When I take minus from this term, it will automatically become positive. When I take minus from this place, then this will become negative. So we get, when I take a minus outside, this will be in the front and this will be at the back. So log of 2 minus x minus log of 2 plus x. Now this part, does it look like log a minus log b? So we can write it as log of a by b. So minus log of 2 minus x by 2 plus x. Okay. So why are we doing this also? Because here when I replace the x by minus x, it doesn't look like the original function. You can see 2 plus x in the numerator. But there in the numerator what we have? 2 minus x. So to make it look like the original one, we are doing the property. We are applying the property log a by b property and taking a minus from that and again applying the log a by b property, and now we arrive at the answer. Now you look at this part, it looks like the original question, right? So here I can apply f of x, but in the front we have minus. So if you have minus f of x as answer, then it is a what function? Odd function condition. So therefore the given function is an odd function. So the integral value will be 0. That is the question. You write it and that is equal to 0. So now sum number 2 we are going to see. So here I equal to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 sine square theta into d theta. Okay, here also the integral limits, it looks like minus a to plus a. So we have to verify whether the integrand sine square theta is odd or even. So I take this sine square theta and I name it as f of theta, because this time they are using theta as variable. So f of theta, usually we write f of x, but here the variable is theta, so f of theta. So to verify whether it is odd or even, replace theta by minus theta. So you get f of minus theta equal to sine square of minus theta. You just understand sine square of minus theta. Sine of minus theta is what? Minus sine theta. Anyway we have the square, so the square I give it to the power. So sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. We learned the property, right? So sine of minus theta is minus sine theta, and the square we give it here. While squaring the minus sine theta, we again get positive sine square theta. Am I right? Because minus sine theta into minus sine theta plus sine square theta. So we got it. So it is nothing but the original function f of theta. So I applied f of minus theta. I found f of minus theta. It is equal to f of theta. That is the original function. Therefore, it is an even function because we don't have any negative sign in the front. So therefore f of theta is the given function is the even function. So if it is even, this time in the integral we must make some changes. One, the lower limit we have to make it as 0. So I made it as 0, and in the front the integral we have to multiply 2. So 2. So the given integral will be equal to 2 into integral 0 to pi by 2 sine square theta d theta. The inner part won't change, but in the integral the lower limit will become 0, and in the front of the integral you have to multiply 2, right? So I hope you understand this part. And now sine square theta cannot be directly integrable. We didn't learn any formula for sine square. Have you learned any formula for integral sine square theta d theta? No. So for this one we have a conventional formula which we learned in 11th standard. 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. So there is a formula equivalent to sine square theta, and that is 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. So this 2 and this 2 will be cancelled. So you have 1 minus cos 2 theta into d theta. So whenever you integrate a number, the answer is what? The number into x. But here we use theta. So 1 into theta is theta minus cos. When you integrate, what is the answer? Sine. So sine 2 theta, right? Here we have 2 theta. So by 2. So whenever we have a number before the x, that will be dividing at last 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. So that thing is here. So sine theta, when you integrate cos 2 theta, the answer is sine 2 theta. And here we have 2 theta, so by 2. Okay, now the limits. So when you, after the integration, the limit should be taken to the right side of the brackets. So 0 to pi by 2. Here this is lower limit, this is upper limit. So take the upper limit and apply in the theta's place here. So when you apply pi here, you get pi by 2 minus sine 2 into pi by 2, the whole divided by 2. Then minus next bracket for lower limit substitution. When you put here, you get 0 minus sine 2 into 0, 0 by 2. Sine 0 is 0 and 0 minus 0 is 0. So fully I put 0. Here this 2 and this 2 will be cancelled. So we'll be having sine pi by 2. Sine pi value is 0. Sine pi value is 0. So this place will also become 0. 0 by anything 0. So fully 0. So what is the answer now? Pi by 2. So only pi by 2 remains. So that is the given integral's answer. Now we are going to see example number 2.76. So the given integral is I equal to integral minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 cos x dx. Okay, the integral limits, it looks like minus a to plus a. So we have to verify the integrand part, that is the cos x, whether it is odd or even. So let me take the cos x as f of x. Okay, to verify whether it is odd or even, we have to replace x by minus x. So in the x place, when I put minus x, I get f of minus x equal to cos of minus x. So what is cos of minus x property? Because cos is the only even function. So cos of minus x becomes the normal cos x, right? So it looks like the original function. I found f of minus x, but that answer is nothing but it is equal to f of x. So it is a even function. Which one? The given f of x is an even function. Okay, what happens if it is a even function? So in the question, the given integral is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 cos x dx. Since it is a even function, okay, the lower limit will become 0. The upper limit remains the same. The inner part also remains the same. And in the front, we have to multiply 2. Okay. Now, do we have any formula to integrate cos x? Yes. So when you integrate cos x, the answer is sin x, right? So sin x, after integration put brackets, and the limits you should write on the right side of the brackets. Okay. Now apply the upper limit. So when you apply the limit, upper limit pi by 2 in x place, you get sin pi by 2 minus lower limit substitution sin 0. So what is sin 0? 0. What is sin 90? 1. So 2 into 1, 2. So that is the integral value for the question integral minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 cos x dx. So this is the answer. So now we are going to see some number, example number 2.77. So the given integral is I equal to integral minus 1 to 1 x square plus x into dx. So this is a given. So now we have two terms, right? So we can give the integral separately. So integral minus 1 to 1 For x square we can give, so x square while you give integral dx also to be given, plus when you give the integral for this term, integral minus 1 to 1 x into dx. Okay, now we have two integrals. In both we have limits like minus a2 plus a. Okay, let's check it. Okay, so I draw a box. Now here this function I'm going to take it as f of x equal to x square. I replace x by minus x, so f of minus x equal to minus x the whole square. What is minus x the whole square? X square. So that is nothing but the original function. So what is your conclusion? Therefore the given function f of x is even. F of x is an even function. Okay, this is the important point, right? It is a even function, right? The other side we have one more integral, right? And that integral is x, the integrand part is x. So that one I'm going to take it as g of x. So g of x is equal to x. Okay, let's verify whether it is odd or even. So put x as minus x. So you have minus x. So that's all, right? So minus of x, like this can be right. So this g of x is nothing but what? G of x. So we found g of minus x, but we get minus g of x as answer. Therefore g of x is an what function? Odd function, right? So this result is important, right? Now let's go for the get back to the sum. So I hope you understand. So here x square, when we verified, it is a even function. The x, when we verified, the function is odd function. So now since this is a even function, the integral lower limit will become 0 and upper limit will be same, the inner part will be same, but in the front will be multiplying 2, right? Since this x is an odd function, the whole integral value will become 0. No need to solve it, right? Okay, so here 2 of, when you integrate this x square, you get x power 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1, that is x power 3 by 3, right? The limits will now shift to the right side of the brackets. Okay, now 2 of, apply the upper limit in x place. When you apply 1 here, 1 cube becomes, okay, 1 cube by 3 minus, when you apply the lower limit, 0 cube by 3, right? So 2 of, you have, when you solve this, you have 1 by 3 minus 0, so the answer is 2 by 3. So the given integral answer is 2 by 3, right? So like this only you have to solve, and whatever the sums we have seen in today's session, please write it in a separate note and have a follow up. And the next class we are going to use only property number 5 and 6. So based on that, tomorrow we will be seeing the remaining sums, and whatever the sums we have seen, practice it. Thank you.